This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Thank you for listening. These are 10 stats and stories we're following this morning. First, the markets rose yesterday, but they point down today. So after a few-week rally in the markets, they're pointing in the wrong direction today. Second, Snap is down nearly 20% in pre-market trading, even though earnings and profits were good and beat forecast. But they were still worse than last year's. But they really dropped. The stock really dropped on a softer forecast for the next quarter. So that's Snapchat. Third, in a similar category of the world, but in podcasting, Spotify fell more than 14% yesterday. So Snapchat down 20% today. Spotify more than 14% yesterday. I've not updated the Snap numbers today, but take it that'll be a serious loss today. Fourth, GE stock flies out of range, and huge earnings jump. It's up another 7 to 10% today. GE knocking it out of the park. Fifth, great to publish a podcast with founder and leader Manav Sevek of Memora Health, where Manav talks about key thoughts on leadership. Manav's just a wonderful, wonderful leader. Sixth, the one-year Treasury opens at about 5.42%. As that rises more, provides more of an alternative to investors. Seventh, oil's about $79-80 a barrel. Again, you go to fill up, it's becoming very expensive again. Eighth, Bitcoin opens near 29,200, down about 10% from its recent highs, a little bit less than 10%. And finally, 9, cannabis stocks remain significantly down. 10th is a discussion we had earlier today on a different podcast. It's know why you're investing in private equity. If you're investing in private equity, know if you're doing it for return reasons, or if you're doing it for ego reasons, or to be part of an ecosystem reason. They all may be good enough reasons for you to invest in it, but understanding why you're investing it in private equity or private equity funds can really help dictate how much you're going to invest. For example, if you're investing for ego and to be part of an ecosystem, that might be a much smaller return than if you're investing for pure return reasons because you really think the returns are going to beat the public markets, even with expenses and so forth. But knowing why you invest can really help you drive your decisions as to who to invest with, how much to invest, and a whole set of issues related to it. In any event, listen to that podcast separately. You could also listen to the podcast, Should You Invest in Private Equity? 5 Key Questions. Thank you very much for joining us today on the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast.